Hello, sisters and brothers. Our devotional today for April 18th is a reflection on My Utmost for His Highest, as written by Oswald Chambers. These are a series of devotionals written by Oswald and are available at the link utmost.org for any time that you want to find those on a daily basis. And the devotional today is about readiness, and the key text comes from the beginning of Exodus chapter 3, and this is where Moses responded to God's call to him. So starting at verse 1. Now Moses was tending the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the far side of the wilderness and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. There the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up. So Moses thought, I will go over and see this strange sight, why the bush does not burn up. When the Lord saw that he had gone over to look, God called to him from within the bush, Moses, Moses. And Moses said, Here I am. And the devotional is titled simply, Readiness. God called to him, and he said, Here I am. Exodus 3, verse 4. When God speaks, many of us are like people in a fog, and we give no answer. Moses' reply to God revealed that he knew where he was and that he was ready. Readiness means having a right relationship to God and having the knowledge of where we are. We are so busy telling God where we would like to go. Yet the man or woman who is ready for God and his work is the one who receives the prize when the summons comes. We wait with the idea that some great opportunity or something sensational will be coming our way, and when it does come, we are quick to cry out, Here I am. Whenever we sense that Jesus Christ is rising up to take authority over some great task, we are there, but we are not ready for some obscure duty. Readiness for God means that we are prepared to do the smallest thing or the largest thing. It makes no difference. It means we have no choice in what we want to do, but that whatever God's plans may be, we are there and ready. Whenever any duty presents itself, we hear God's voice as our Lord heard his Father's voice, and we are ready for it with the total readiness of our love for him. Jesus Christ expects to do with us just as his Father did with him. He can put us wherever he wants, in pleasant duties or in menial ones, because our union with him is the same as his union with the Father, that they be one, just as we are one. John 17:22. Be ready for the sudden surprise visits of God. A ready person never needs to get ready. He is ready. Think of the time we waste trying to get ready once God has called. The burning bush is a symbol of everything that surrounds a person who is ready, and it is on fire with the presence of God himself. Now, this very simple idea that Chambers draws out of the story of Moses is very simple and very profound. If we are not ready and God calls us to do something, we don't know how to respond because we don't feel ready and we aren't ready. But if we walk in a right relationship with God, then we will be ready because we've already been doing the things that God has asked us to do. So no matter whether it's a small thing or a large thing, we are ready. Now, there are going to be times where there are some more significant, more profound, impactful calls upon our life. Think of the story of Samuel when he heard his voice being called. And he didn't recognize it at first until he was told that it was the Lord calling him. And then he said, I am here and I am ready. Think of the disciples. They were ready to be called to follow Jesus, but then there were some times where the simple things that Jesus asked them to do, they were not ready. They didn't understand. It's about being ready consistently, and the only way to do that is in a right relationship with God. And as I read this, it reminded me of just a very simple thing that I learned when I was probably a freshman playing basketball, and it talked about the ready position, so that when your team has the ball, this is your ready position. And from that position, once you catch the ball, you can pass, you can shoot, you can dribble. And I think we have to operate in the same way, where even though it might seem repetitive and it might seem mundane, we have to remain in our rightful relationship with God through our prayer life, through our time in the Word, through our time fellowshipping with other believers, so that when God calls us, we can say the same as Moses did: "Here I am, and I am ready." Thank you as always for listening. Be safe and stay well.